We have a lot of farmers in our area that row crop, that grow cotton, soybeans, and corn. But we're pushing. We're trying to start the new California here.
Okay.
We are trying to start because we cannot feed the world and we cannot feed Mississippi, and we have a high obesity rate. We're trying to combat some of that, and we're trying to push farmers into growing alternative crops, vegetable crops, and different things.
This episode of Voices from the Field is a conversation with John Coleman, the manager of Alcorn State University's demonstration farm. John and Raquiel Woods, the director of NCAT's Gulf States office in Jackson, Mississippi, talk about the idea of beginning farmers modeling their operation after demonstration farms. They discuss labor costs, record keeping and GAP certification, choosing equipment, selecting crops, and more. Let's listen.
Hello, my name is Raquiel Woods. I'm the Gulf State Regional Director for the National Center for Appropriate Technology, and we're here at Alcorn State University's demonstration farm, and I'm talking right now to
John Coleman.
John Coleman. So tell us, what do you do out here? What's your position out here?
Mr. Woods, I'm out here at the Alcorn State University demonstration farm here in Mound Bayou, Mississippi, where I'm the farm manager, and I oversee about 45 acres of demonstration, research, and other alternative crops here on the demonstration farm. Just upkeep the maintenance here on the demonstration farm. We hold workshops and other demonstrations, and that's having a great time out here at the demonstration
Well, that's
farm.
great. So one of the things that we're going to talk about on this podcast today that a lot of growers, we want to try to hip a lot of growers to is patterning your farm from a demonstration farm. Because we know that a lot of people come to demonstration farms to see how they could pattern their farm to look like the demonstration farm. So they get ideas, tips, and things like that. So we want to talk about, what goes on this demonstration farm, which you just, talked about a few things. And we want to try to see how our audience could pattern their farm to look like a demonstration farm or to run like a good farm, especially with beginners. So tell me something about what type of equipment do you have out here?
We mainly have small equipment, two-row equipment, four-row equipment, because we're dealing with vegetables. Okay. We have a lot of farmers in our area that row crop, that grow cotton, soybeans, and corn, but we're pushing, we're trying to start the new California here.
Okay.
We're trying to start because we cannot feed the world and we cannot feed Mississippi, and we have a high obesity rate. We're trying to combat some of that, and we're trying to push farmers into growing alternative crops, vegetable crops, and different things. So mainly our equipment is small. We have a lot of big equipment around us, but we're a small boy.
Okay, but you said 47 acres. You're working 47 acres. So what size tractor would work 47 acres? Let's just say if I'm a beginner and I'm listening to you say, hey, you're working 47 acres. And I'll just say, because I get the call a lot. I get farmers that say, hey, I just inherited 40 acres. What can I do with it? So tell me about what size tractor do you all use out here, or what would you recommend for a beginner farmer to?
Well, 45 acres, it depends on how many acres you have. We have 45 acres to start cultivating or try breaking up our land. We use about 120 horsepower tractor.
So that 120 horsepower tractor is basically for disking or?
Disking, chisel plying, and things like that.
Okay.
But for planting and cultivating and rowing up our rows and things like that, making beds and things like that, okay. Well, we break down to about a 75 to 80 horsepower tractor.
Okay, cool. So what about the planting process when you start to plant?
We planting, we disc and we make our rows, and then we might till it, or we might use a do-haul.
Okay.
Do-haul to knock down the rows.
So what size planter? Maybe a
four-row planter.
A four-row planter. Okay. Is it vacuum planter, precision planter, or just a regular?
That's a regular planter, and you see, we are in a limited or small, what you call it, limited resource area.
Right.
And so getting into all that type of equipment, precision and all those different types of equipment, we kind of use the modern equipment, just 4 rows and things like that. 4 row old modern equipment, about the 1990, 1980 types of equipment.
Okay. So any other entities out here, do y'all get NRCS practices or do y'all get any practices or assistance? I know this is a university and this is a demonstration farm, but do y'all get any type of practices out here?
Well, that's what main thing what we're saying in the demonstration part. We have NRCS coming out here doing cover crops and different projects that when we have some of our field days and things like that, we let them tell what they're doing on our property. We have ARS coming in. They do some sweet potato plots and things like
ARS,
that. Agricultural Research
okay.
Services.
Oh,
in
USDA
Stoneville.
entity. Yeah. Oh, okay. Area Research Service. Okay.
Yeah. And in Stoneville, Mississippi, they do some insect trials and they do some sweet potato trials. And in our local, the University, Alcorn State University, their scientists come out and do a lot of research projects on sweet potatoes and peas and other items.
So not only do y'all have, demonstration plots, y'all have scientists and from different entities like Area Research Service, USDA, ARS, and you have NRCS that come out and put plots, research plots.
Yes.
That those research plots, their findings, does it come back to extension, or is it passed along to the farmers, or is it passed along to extension to pass to the farmers?
Well, it's passed on to the extension, and that's the main thing what you just brought up. We pass it on through our field days.
Okay.
Our main item, we come up with ARS, NRCS. We have a big field day in the month of September, and then we have some mini field days so farmers can come out and see what we are doing, and that information can be passed to them.
When you say field day, that sounds like a lot of fun. So, share some things that goes on that field day.
Oh, field day, man, it's a lot of things. I was joking with somebody. A lot of people like to come out there for the T-shirts.
Oh, okay.
But not. It's not only for T-shirts. It's coming out here really visiting the farm, seeing how the equipment is taken care of, hearing different scientists talk about their research plots and their findings about certain seeds that they did research on. We have a sweet potato jamboree cook-off.
Oh, man.
Man, we have a cook-off. People bring certain dishes and show how other value added to. We have a little fresh farmer market going on that day. And then we, at the end of the day, we feed them, and then we give a tour of the whole farm.
Wow, that is excellent.
The ATTRA website has been connecting sustainable agriculture students and farmers around the country for decades. Our free internship hub makes it easy to find interns or farmers looking to hire interns. If you're looking for some practical experience on a working farm to bolster your studies, or you want to pass on the wisdom of your experience in exchange for some willing elbow grease, stop by at attra.ncat.org.
So tell me a little bit about, I know you say you grow multiple crops out there. So what's labor like here? Is labor high? Do you get labor to come out here? Do you have to hire people to come out here seasonal? Or?
We have 3 full-time.
Okay.
And we have a lot of volunteers. Like you just said about the labor, we pick on half.
Okay. Explain what's picking on the half, so our audience.
Picking on the half means whatever they pick, we get half.
Okay, all right.
So they normally use 5-gallon buckets when they picking things, and
Okay.
whatever the full max they pick, we get half of it. We divide it into our shed, and we use a lot of their labor to help us with our harvest, and we use a lot of their labor to help us when we plant. And even we have different groups come in from different states.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let me ask you something. I know with a demonstration farm out here, and basically a lot of farmers try to pattern their farms to look like farms when they come out, like their farm to look like this farm when they come out here. Do you have any certifications that you all have that that you share with the farmers? Or are there any certifications that you all have?
The great pride we have every year, we get GAP certified.
GAP certificate. Okay.
There's good agriculture practices or good handling practices.
Okay.
And you do all that about making sure your farm is up to par with the record keeping, with different things about your bathrooms that are very clean, and just taking down good records of chemicals that you use, the signage that you got going on, your trainings with your employees and things like that. So that is very good thing. So we can be able not to go through a middleman. We can be able to go right to the market and sell our vegetables.
Right. So I understand. So records are important. So because, like they say, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. So records are a good thing. Do you all share that with the farmers when they come out here? Here's our record keeping. This is what we do. Or what do y'all share about the record keeping process?
Well, the record keeping process, like I just said, Mr. Woods, when you're doing GAP certification, you got to have good records.
Okay.
Because when the auditor come out and look at your records, if they state, because we always say time is what? Money. And if they have to look all over and find all different kinds of records everywhere and everything, but we have them right in our book. I call it my holy Bible.
Okay.
Like the Bible, that have all the records of what's going on in the farm, and I can be able to show those calculations to farmers when they come out here, even on field day or even in some workshops as well.
Okay. So is the farm open every day? Can anyone just pop up and just say, "Hey, I want to come out"? Just say, "I want to be a farmer. I want to come out and see what you all doing." Or do you have to make appointments or?
No, the farm is open every Monday through Friday, but Monday through Thursday 8 to 4, and 8 to 5, and on Friday 8 to 4.
Okay.
So, Mr. Wood, we won't have to get out of here on this Friday.
Okay. So let me another question. I know we talked about field days and everything that goes on the field days. So after the field day, because I know you said field day happened in September, and I know September is the time of harvest and things like that. You all are doing a lot of harvesting. So what goes on after the field day, and then?
Field days in September, but we got two major holidays are coming up, and that's Thanksgiving and Christmas. And people like those good greens and sweet potatoes.
What variety of greens do you grow?
Oh, we grow 5 different types.
Okay.
We grow mustard, turnip, collard, rape, and kale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a special brand name that you use or anything for good germination?
Yeah, people like that, the broadleaf mustard.
Okay.
They like that white globe turnip. They like that Siberian kale. And they just like different, they're different. In that Georgia, you got to have that Georgia collard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
So after that, you selling greens and people coming out here for the holidays. Mm-hmm. So they're harvesting greens, and you all are selling greens, and everybody wants this greens. And you say greens and sweet potatoes. So those are different brands and different types of greens that they want. They come out here. Do you all harvest it? Do they harvest it? Or you still doing that harvest on the half method?
Well, we do a harvest on the half method when we have to go to certain programs and things like that. If we want to donate to a school or something like that, we'll do that half and things like that. But mostly we sell a 13-gallon garbage bag, and we supply the garbage bag for $7.
Wow.
They go out and pick all what can go into that garbage bag.
They can harvest whatever goes into that garbage bag. Okay.
Yeah, and for $7.
That is great.
And one thing we use with those greens over the wintertime, they are cover crop.
Oh, wow. So the greens break down and go back into the soil. So that's normally how you get your amenities back into the soil that you do. So what are some of the summer crops that you all plant?
Oh, some of the summer crops, man, we got to have that pink-eye purple hull pea.
Okay.
That's our specialty.
Okay.
We have tomatoes, we have peppers, we have okra, squash, we have watermelons,
Okay.
cantaloupe, and eggplants.
Wow. Okay.
And cucumbers.
Cucumbers. Wow. That sounds like a pretty big list for a person that wants to start a farm and they want to start it, have multiple enterprises out there. everything you just named sounds good, but I know there's a lot of work into getting all of this. So we want to share to our audience, what are your thoughts and some of the methods how you make this real easy for you to do that type of work? I know you say you have a staff of 3, but then you say you have some labor to come out. So what's some of the game plan that you put together when you're getting ready to start planting?
So, I talked about all those different types of vegetables that we grow in the summertime, but those like the squash, okra, the peppers, they are grown on about 1/4 of an acre.
Okay.
Our main crop is our purple hull peas.
Okay.
Because that's what we specialty, and that's what we are growing. We are growing a facility, a purple hull processing plant as we speak now.
You're in the process of building a processing facility. Okay.
And why we say purple hull peas, it's just like soybeans, and the farmer can really, I talked about a lot of these farmers. They grow soybean in this area,
Right.
And peas are a legume. They can grow just like soybeans, and we have a market for the purple hull peas. Our processing plant in Marks, Mississippi. We ship them out to Kroger's and different mom and pop stores. So that's what we are trying to mainly demonstrate to farmers how to grow purple hull peas.
So once I grow these peas, let's just say if I'm a farmer and I start growing these peas now, and I say, oh, okay, normally, I know the rule is, sell before you grow. So can I bring my peas here? And do you all find a market for me?
No, we already have the market.
You already have the market.
And one thing we don't have the demand. We don't have the peas to supply for the demand.
Oh, okay. So you don't have enough farmers to actually grow the peas to fulfill the supply.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So pea is the crop. I know. Now, are you harvesting by hand, or are you using the machinery, or?
Now, that's one thing, Mr. Woods. We have the seed, we have the chemical. I want to skip the third part, and we have the market.
Okay.
But one thing the harvest, and it's something like they said about in the Bible, the harvest is great, but the labor is few. The labor will hand picking it, and we're looking into getting mechanical harvesters, because we want to get large farmers into that growing about 10 to 20 acres.
Right.
So we need great machinery to get those peas out the field.
Okay. Because
there's a short window to get those peas out the field, like 5 days, between 5 to 10 days.
Right. Okay. Well, those are all the questions I have, John Coleman. We want to thank you for sharing this information on our podcast series. This will be posted on our YouTube page. Some of the things on our podcast page, and these were great things. And make sure I have your information in here. So if anybody calls for any questions about the demonstration farm, you feel free to answer some of it.
Oh, yes. And once again, Mr. Wood, I'm glad you came out and visited us today. I'd like to tell you my information again. My name is John Coleman. I'm the farm manager here at the Alcorn State University Demonstration Farm here in Mountain Bayou, Mississippi. My email is jwcoleman, COLEMAN, the number 1, at alcorn.edu. My telephone number is 662-588-3545. And you can call me anytime, and I'll be able to answer your questions and just to talk with you about small vegetable farm.
All right. Thank you so much.
That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening. Additional information about this episode and related resources can be found at attra.incat.org. Don't miss an episode. Subscribe to Voices from the Field wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Rich Myers. ATTRA, Voices from the Field, is produced by the National Center for Appropriate Technology, headquartered in Butte, Montana. It's supported by the USDA Rural Business Cooperative Service as part of NCAT's ATTRA Sustainable Agriculture program. Any opinions, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this recording are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of the USDA or NCAT. We'll catch you again next week, and until then, keep on farming.